Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Melancholy Crypto. Today I just wanted to talk about what my financial goals were and what I will do once I reach those goals. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at my portfolio. The reason I want to look at my portfolio is not because I want to show off or to basically rub it in your face or something like that. I just want to take note of where I am on my financial path. So my goal is to be able to live off the dividends of my total earnings. So I basically want to reach a place where the interest I earn on my investments, I will be able to live off of that. So for instance, if I had $230,000, I would only need about 10% of that in order to have what is now my full salary, or what was my full salary when I was working full-time at the deli. I was making about $20,000 a year. So if my profile were to 10x and I was able to earn 10% interest on that, I would officially not need to work in order to live the way I live now. Denome makes financial instruments, or he makes these fun little calculators. I'll link his channel down below. He makes some really good videos. And what he created here is a compound interest calculator. So if I was making 10% interest on $230,000 a year, basically within 10 years, I would have $600,000. Assuming I'm not paying taxes and that the underlying asset remains the same value. So even if I'm not dollar cost averaging and I'm just letting it acquire interest over years, I would still end up with this absolute gigantic number. Compound interest is absurd. So I love dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrency because of compound interest. This is kind of like what gets me frothy at the mouth, and I love to just play around with calculators and imagine how much money I could have if I just sit and wait, or if things increase in value over time. So basically, there's so many different ways you can earn interest on cryptocurrency. For instance, if you are using a proof of stake network, then you can delegate your cryptocurrency to that network and earn interest. So for Cardano right now, I'm earning 4.4% interest, and for XDAI, I'm earning about 8.2%. And if you want to go through a centralized company like Celcius or Crypto.com, they usually offer a pretty good interest on a variety of cryptocurrencies. So 5.5%, 5.2%, 6.2%, 16.16%, etc., etc. So the beauty of cryptocurrency is that they enable you to earn interest on your investments, and you can't do that anywhere else, at least not this easily. Another way is through peer-to-peer loaning. So you can anonymously loan money to other people. It's cheap and it's anonymous, and this is probably the best way if you want to avoid taxes. Loaning money to other people won't get you. I don't think they can tax you on this. Anyways, so there's so many different ways. You can also do it by liquidity farming. Basically, you give them collateral so that people can so when people want to buy a cryptocurrency, there is some liquidity from them to buy from, and it basically, you can earn interest on the fees paid when they're buying from that pool. And so, anywhere from like 2% to 3,000% is how much you can earn. This could be quite risky, and the risk level varies quite a lot between different protocols. So I probably use liquidity farming the least. I use peer-to-peer loaning. I don't use it right now, but in the future I plan to use this a lot. Right now I mostly just use centralized entities like Celcius and Crypto.com to earn interest. And then of course I always for staking, I always stake onto the network. So for Cardano and Ethereum, I like to just stake on the network instead of going through a third party. So what would I do if I had a lot of money, or if I was financially independent? Well, I would probably invest abroad. So right now, if you want to invest US dollars, they actually don't go very far in the United States. But if you want to invest that money into somewhere like Sierra Leone, where their native currency isn't worth that much, and US dollars, like someone's salary might only be a few hundred US dollars, whereas in the US, a few $100s doesn't buy, it buys you like a couple lunches. But in Sierra Leone, this money would go so far, and it would be extremely effective. So, the best way to use my money would be to invest abroad. So that is what I would do. I would invest into charities that are in countries with poor economies or that are developing. Something that I'm personally interested in is nature. So a lot of animals are becoming nocturnal to avoid humans. Effectively, all contact with animals stresses them out, and so they are, on average, becoming a lot more nocturnal. And so this is averaging mammals. Like all mammals are, on average, becoming more nocturnal. And that is a direct result of human contact. Regardless of what our intentions are, just our presence stresses out animals. So what I would want to invest in if I had to start a company would be building homes underground, kind of like what they want to do for Mars. So I'd probably invest into eco-friendly housing, because human presence above ground, not only are we like poorly using our resources, but our presence alone is creating a negative impact. So I want to minimize our presence on the land.